Hello everyone, and welcome back. It's been a while. Um, I'm sorry, we've been pretty busy. Um, but we've been getting a lot of stuff done around the house. We picked up rabbits, so we've been building a rabbit hutch. Um, if you hear any animal noises, we still got the rabbits in the garage right now, and we've got a brooder box for some chickens and turkeys in here as well. Um, if you do hear any noises, it's probably from the turkeys. Um, but today we're starting a new series called Firewood Academy. Um, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to properly season firewood. Um, so, without further ado, let's get into the video. Freshly chopped firewood has up to a 50% moisture content and won't usually burn very well in your fireplace. So you got to let your firewood season or dry before you burn it. And that allows the moisture to escape, obviously. And the drier the wood, the cleaner the burn. When it gets down below 20% moisture content, it's ready to burn. Burning unseasoned or green wood, or even partially seasoned wood in your stove will cause creosote to build up in your chimney and can eventually lead up to a chimney fire or a lack of fire in your stove or fireplace or a room full of smoke. And so every homeowner that's reliant on wood should know how to properly season wood. Before drying, you've got to know the properties of your wood. The duration of seasoning depends on the wood, and for deciduous trees, when that tree was felled. The sap of deciduous trees moves to the roots in the winter. So such trees felled in the winter have a lower moisture content to begin with and will be seasoned more quickly. In general, pine and other softwoods require around 6 to 12 months to season, while hardwoods such as oak require 1 to 2 years actually. This rule of thumb does have exceptions though, so knowing the tree's type and moisture content is important. Surface water will usually evaporate easily. The concern is the moisture within the wood. So wood like shagbark hickory, cherry, and black locust will gain little benefit from air drying as they have low moisture content. Wood from trees like hemlock, cottonwood, American elm, and sycamore will benefit from long drying times, and many other tree types are variable. And there isn't any point to seasoning wood longer than it needs to be because over-dried wood will have less energy and will put out a lower BTU count. It's because the volatile esters in the wood will evaporate out of the wood eventually. So those waxy substances contain a great deal of heat energy. Seasoning wood longer than it needs to be is not usually better. You can purchase a special instrument called a moisture meter that tests the moisture content of wood, which is usually known as a moisture meter. The instrument is about $25 on Amazon. $25 and it'll probably last you your whole life. You want to gather and stack wood at the right time of year. With the exception of wanting to gather deciduous trees when their sap is lowest during the winter, gathering and seasoning wood during the summer makes good sense because you can take the advantage of the warm weather to start drying out your wood. we usually harvest our wood in the winter. In areas with little rainfall during the summer, open air storage is also a viable option. But in rainy areas, you're going to want to cover your wood. Any rain that does fall will usually replace sap, and as the water evaporates faster in the heat, the fuel will dry faster. You're going to want to chop your wood in readiness for storage. It's best to get the pieces down to no more than 6 to 8 inches in diameter. 14 and 18 inches long are common sizes. 16 inches is the correct size for a face cord. 16 is the most common size. A lot of people that sell firewood won't measure it. We estimate when we cut our firewood. So, yeah, we do it about 16 inches. Some fireplaces will allow for a 24-inch log, but not all splitters will split a 24-inch long log. So that's one thing to consider. If you use a wood splitter, make sure you don't cut your wood longer than your splitter can split. If you've got a big bore splitter, that'll probably be about 30 inches, which is plenty, unless you're going to cut your wood twice the length you need it and then split it and then cut your split pieces in half. But that's a lot more wear and tear on your chainsaw if you're cutting the wood twice. So, yeah. You want to store your wood indoors or outdoors. Do not store wood indoors. If there's any termites or any bugs, for that matter, you don't want them getting in your house, especially if you live in a house that's mostly wood on the inside. So it's one thing to. We've got a big firewood storage pile out. We use pallets. Pallets are a great way to stack firewood. And if you've got a tractor with pallet forks, you can pick those pallets up and move them. My grandfather, which I'm going to be recording either the next video or the next video after that at his house. You'll start to see more videos coming from his house once we start getting into the summer here. He uses apple crates to store his wood in. He buys them for about $20. And the dude makes them himself. And then he just sells them when they've outlasted their usefulness. So yeah, that works great. And the wood never falls off like it does. We use some pallets at his place. We're actually going to be building a little firewood storage shed out at his place this year, and we're going to be putting in some fencing this year. So we'll show you how to make a short little split rail fence. That should be a pretty fun video to do. You also want to stack your wood so it isn't sitting directly on the ground or right up against a wall, so that moisture can, or so that air can get to all sides of it. If you don't have a wood shed, cut 2 saplings to use as a base to keep the firewood from contact with the ground, or use 2x4s. 2x4s are great too. Pallets are a great alternative, as I already said. We stack our wood on pallets. And if you don't have or don't want to make side supports, you can stack the ends by turning the direction of the wood 90 degrees with each layer, and that will make the end stacks self-supporting. If you are going to be stacking your wood near a wall, you want to allow space between the stack and a wall to allow air to move. Air circulation is an essential part of the seasoning process to ensure the wood dries. Ideally, you would have a moisture barrier such as a tarp below the wood, and or have it spaced up off the ground to allow airflow. Now, we've got a rack out on our porch that we use for storing wood during the wintertime. And think 6 2x4s is all it took to make, and probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Took about 12 screws to make. It's 6 feet tall. The wood stays off the ground for a foot, so you don't have to bend over as far, and it stays up off the ground. And it's 12 inches wide, so can hold logs anywhere from 12 to 24 inches. You might want to make it 16 inches if you're going to be doing 24-inch logs, but since most of our wood is 16 inches, 12 inches apart for the spacing is great. You also want to ensure that the top of the wood is covered to allow rain or snow to run off without soaking the wood. However, you want to keep the ends of the stack uncovered to allow air to circulate and moisture to escape. Bark also acts like kind of a lid on firewood, which offers natural protection. So on split wood, you want to stack the wood with the bark on the bottom, and that will allow the wood to dry faster. If you're storing the wood without cover, stacking the wood with the bark on top will prevent some of the rain from soaking into the wood. Now, there are 2 theories on the covering of wood during the seasoning process, and you must decide for yourself which theory you wish to follow. One theory has already been stated. Cover the wood to prevent the rain and snow from entering the center of the stack and gathering there. However, within the firewood community, another theory holds that you do not have to cover your wood at all, ever. Just leave it out there in the weather and it'll season just as well as if you covered it. Now, I'm kind of indifferent. We usually cover our wood after it's seasoned to keep it dry. This theory has its supporters, and they are sure it works just as well as covering your pile. Perhaps you might want to divide your wood and try an experiment with both methods. You're going to want to check for wood dryness. You can use the moisture meter, as mentioned earlier, if you have excess. Or you can use one of these other methods. Number 1 is to pick 2 pieces of wood that you think are dry. And if you knock the 2 pieces together and hear more of a ring than a thud, then it's probably properly seasoned. If you hear a thud, it's most likely wet wood. Number 2, check for radial cracks at the ends of the wood, which indicates dryness. Wood cracks as it dries. And number 3, burn a piece on a roaring fire base. If 3 of the sides begin to burn within 15 minutes, the fuel is dry. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Another video in this series will be uploaded soon. I'll see you guys again on Saturday. I'm going to be focusing more time on this channel than Machinery Talk now, just because I enjoy making these videos more than I enjoy making the Machinery Talk videos. But I do love making videos for Machinery Talk, and I'm actually thinking about starting getting into some tractor videos now. Our tractor here is a 1940 Alice Chalmers Beast, so that's not really representative of what we have today. We also have a 1985 Honda 3-wheeler and a Cub Cadet lawnmower. Don't buy a Cub Cadet lawnmower from Lowe's or Tractor Supply, especially if you're going to be cutting firewood. They're not very useful around in the woods. We have an old Boland's lawn tractor that works great, except for the fact that it doesn't run right now, or it doesn't start. But yeah, I'm thinking about getting into some tractor videos, utility vehicles, ATVs. So those will probably just be overviews, like me sitting here talking about the specs, showing pictures up on the screen and stuff. yeah, I'd like to eventually buy a compact tractor. My grandpa's got a John Deere 855, so I'll probably be doing some videos at his place showing you how to properly use your tractor attachments and your tractor. Um, he's got a John Deere 445 lawn tractor. He's got a John Deere Gator 2X, a TX. Now, the first video I record at his place is either going to be servicing those pieces of equipment or using the grapple that we put on his 855 last year. Now, yeah, my grandpa's friend is selling will eventually possibly be selling his John Deere 755 compact tractor, and I hope that if he does sell it, I'm able to buy it. Just depends on how much he's selling it for. And he's selling his house too, so he's going to be asking the person that buys the house if they want to buy the tractor from him, and if not, then he's going to be selling it. And if I have enough money for it, I'll probably end up buying it, and if I don't have the money for it, I won't buy it. As always, please press the subscribe button, press the like button, leave a comment for video suggestions or any questions you may have. Share these with your friends, and check us out on Facebook at Outdoors with A&T. We also have a Facebook fundraiser going on right now, because I want to start selling firewood. Need some better equipment, need a bigger chainsaw and stuff like that. Yeah. So until next time. So check that Facebook fundraiser out if you want to. I'll have the link to that in the description, as well as the link to our Facebook page. So till next time, bye for now.